Shemai, Minty Welsh. My name's Minty, Daniel Minty. I'm originally from here in Abertillery, was born here, my grandparents from here, parents from here, and I lived until I was 11 years of age and then moved out of the area, and I've just come back now in the last 2 years, and it's so wonderful to be here and reignite with old friends and be closer to my family who've been living here in all of that period. Abertillery as a place means an incredible amount to me. Every corner of every street has a story to be told and a memory locked in for me of time that I'd spent with my grandparents and my parents walking around the town centre, or the carnival every summer, or going to the Highbury Club on a Sunday whilst my grandfather played cards, having one of the best Knickerbocker glories of my life in the Mount Pleasant at the bottom of Gain Street. It's fascinating actually how small the town is, because when I was a child it seemed absolutely massive. I remember quite vividly my grandmother saying, "Come on now Dan, nip up to the shop for you and Nan," up in Blaen y Gwent, and remembering that it felt like Mount Everest climbing up past the Crown pub. But now you can get it from Tebring Road up there in like 30 seconds. So yeah, it's fascinating how big it felt when I was a child and how actually tiny and cute and cozy it is. I quite often need to tell people, see, the roads here weren't built for cars, they were built for horse and cart, and that is certainly the case. Yeah, like I say, so many memories. Six Bells Park playing when I was a kid, and going down the Abertillery Park on walks and searching for monkey nuts and conkers. Just really lovely memories. And as I say, I've just moved back here in the last 2 years, and I'm just really want to sort of dedicate myself to just helping this town really get to where it should be. I mean, I'm not going to stand here and tell you all about the history of Abertillery, because if you're watching this you probably know it tenfold, but the resiliency of this area and what this area once was at one point was so paramount to the south of Wales, and I'm of the belief that one day that can come back. I think, looking at it from a critical point of view, at one point the people within this area maybe lost their resiliency somewhat, in that they felt there was no hope, and we were sort of hanging on in there by a thread. But drip by drip, bit by bit, that's starting to come back, and we're starting to see independent businesses start here. We're starting to see people using their high street more, shopping local more if they can. And then I suppose from my background within the Welsh language, I grew up in a non-Welsh speaking family. No one in my family could speak Welsh. My grandfather would say stuff occasionally in Welsh, but as I wasn't aware, I didn't think he was a Welsh speaker, but I found out since that he could speak Welsh quite colloquially. The fascinating thing about the language in this area, I must say, is that people speak in English whilst using Welsh language structure without even realising it. So stuff like, "I'm going over there, I am," or "He's going to the bar, he is," stuff like that. It's all Welsh language structure being spoken in English, and what I'm trying to do within my job with Minty Welsh as the Blaen y Gwent officer is to enable and empower people to recognise the potential of the language within this area. 85% of people in Blaen y Gwent in 1850 could speak Cymraeg, and now we're down to 7 or 8%. And I'm of the faith that people will one day come back to speaking the language, and it's on the incline. I speak to people say, "Oh, no one speaks Welsh in Blaen y Gwent." So many people do, and so I think, from my point of view, I think we're back on the incline here in Abertillery and the surrounding areas, and I'm really excited to see what comes next and do everything I possibly can to be part of that community uprising.